Hey everybody, what is going on? So, I'm having a second live stream this week because, like I said in my last live stream, for those of you who are here, and right now there doesn't seem to be anybody, but I figure I'll get started with this. Like I said in my last live stream, I want to do sort of not just like a movie review live stream type thing. I also want to do a segment each Friday, maybe around this time, maybe around 5, maybe at 6 o'clock. Projects I've got going on, and that may be going on in my own personal life because I love you guys. You guys are like family to me, and I love keeping you guys all in the loop. And I suppose with this live stream, I'll give it a couple more minutes for people to show up. Let's see here. ZD Vids, hey man, thank you so much for showing up. You are the man. So, okay, I'm going to give it a couple more minutes. Let's go to about, let's say like 2 or 3 minutes, and then I'll get this whole thing started. Start you in on the updates. And then Samuel One World Reviews. Hey, Cody. Hey, Sam. How are you doing, man? So yeah, basically the rundown of what's doing this. I saw Ready Player One. If you guys haven't seen my review for that film, that is up today. I want to talk a little bit about it, and then I'm gonna honestly, there's something I need to talk to you guys about, and it's something more serious. I know I'd like to talk about movie reviews and my projects, but before any of that other stuff, before I catch you up on pretty much anything else that's going on, I do want to talk to you guys about something pretty semi-serious. I'll try to keep it fun, but just keeping you guys in the loop. So how is everybody's week going? And it looks like we have 5 people watching right now. So thank you everybody who's decided to show up so far. You guys are all amazing rock stars. And Samuel One World Reviews says, "I'm great. Just got back from work and got Thor Ragnarok, Jumanji, The Last Jungle, not The Last Jungle, The Last Jedi, Disaster Artist, in the Lego Movie on Blu-ray." Hey man, that fantastic choices. And you know, it's funny, I actually picked up The Last Jedi on Blu-ray today, which that's actually something I'm going to talk about once we get this whole thing started, because there's actually a really interesting experience that happened to me today when I was in Walmart picking up The Last Jedi. And Ted Harrington, good, but it is so hot down here in Southwest Florida. Hey, comic book boy, Ted Harrington. Thank you guys so much for showing up. In Ted Harrington, Southwest Florida. Man, what's the temperature down there right now? You say it's hot, but yeah, how hot is it? Is it like 90, 110 degrees? Because I can only imagine. 87, and probably a lot of humidity. All right. And the comic book, no, not comic book, the comic boy, thank you so much for showing up. You're a rock star too. All right. We'll give it another 30 seconds. Actually, you know what? Let's go to 5 minutes. Let's give some people some time to file in so we can get this whole thing started. But I'm excited to. It's cold here in Canada where I live. Yeah, that's kind of me too, man. I live in Maine, so right now it's about 45 degrees with very little humidity and the wind's blowing outside. So it's a little chilly to say the least. But yeah. So, yeah, just once again, thank you all so much for everybody who's decided to show up to this chat. I can't wait to talk with each one of you. I can't wait to discuss with you the various things that's going to be going on. And then, like I said before, semi-serious subject about when we get to it. So that's going to be interesting. But the thing I'm excited to talk to you guys about is Ready Player One, because that film, we'll get into it. Let's just wait. And for the people who are here again, just got to keep giving you all thank yous because you guys are all amazing. I love the support. You guys are fantastic. And thank you so much for showing up. Now we got about another 30 seconds for people to file in, and yet water, because although it is very, very cold here, my throat is actually pretty dry. And yeah, Ted Harrington, it is Love your Ready Player One review, my friend. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, yeah. I'm a little sleep deprived, but we have reached the 5 minute mark. So I'd say it's about time for us to get started. And Comic Boy, thank you so much for bringing up Ready Player One. Guys, I just got to shout my praises once again to Ready Player One because I know there are some reading reviews and watching what other people's thoughts are on the movie, I understand that people have problems with the characterizations, that with all the references and Easter eggs and everything that was thrown on screen, a lot of the characterization for Wade or for Nolan Sorrento or for a few other of the characters inside the film, it was kind of thrown out the window. And I can see that. I just had such a blast watching this movie that it just hit me on a personal level because ever since I was young, even though I don't regularly review video games on my channel, I have been a very, very big fan of video games since I was young. I mean, I remember the first game that me and my brother played when we were younger was the original Sonic the Hedgehog game from Sega. I mean, that along with the original Mario, I mean, and all of this stuff, video game nostalgia. Hey, Herman Second. Thank you so much for coming on, man. And yeah, I might get distracted with saying hello to everybody who shows up on this chat, but we're talking about We're talking about Ready Player One here, Herman. Harmon. Hey, Ninja Warrior Superstars. Hey, no problem, man. Thank you so much for showing up. So, we're talking about Ready Player One, and that's really what it comes down to. The way that Steven Spielberg brought about this adaptation, brought about this film, the way that he did is just phenomenal. I've already expressed that Steven Spielberg is my personal favorite filmmaker, and I think he is the best filmmaker of all time. That's just my personal opinion. Because even though he's had some slip ups, War of the Worlds and 1941 are definitely two of those slip ups, I do think that the mass majority of the work that he's done vastly outweighs the negative films or the bad films that he's made. Although he has helped produce a lot of not really. You like 1941, Ted Harrington? Well, that's good for you. Well, unfortunately, I don't. For me, there was just some elements of the film that I didn't like all that much. I didn't think it was very well put together, but I do. This is why the internet is great. I love the internet for this specific reason. And I had a conversation like this with somebody over my Romeo and Juliet review that I did in the last live stream I did. And differing opinions create the most interesting conversations for people. And that's one of the things that makes the internet great. I did not watch 1941. No, honestly, 1941, I think, is one of those films that a few people haven't seen from Steven Spielberg, but I will say that 1941 is a film that I didn't personally connect with and I didn't personally like. But other than that, Ready Player One, it knocked it out of the park for me. From character development to the score, Alan Silvestri's fantastic score. If you guys don't know, he's the same guy that gave us the Back to the Future score. The Back to the Future references, the references to Spielberg's other films, and everything that was just thrown into this movie to celebrate geek culture, to celebrate everything that is great about cinema, celebrate everything that is great about video games. It's fantastic. The way Steven Spielberg put this together, it's one of those films where I think about more and more and I want to go see it again. This is one of those films that makes me realize that Spielberg hasn't lost his touch. He hasn't lost the magic. And this is a film that really Spielberg put his heart and soul into, and it reminded me of films like Jaws, Jurassic Park, E.T. the Extraterrestrial. It brought back those same memories for me. It made me feel like I was a kid again. I absolutely loved Ready Player One, and I could watch this movie 7 more times just for the fact that I'd want to get all the references that were in the movie, and so I could get more of the heart and depth and character development that Steven Spielberg put in there, even though there are some people, like I said before, who don't believe that the characterization was very good. All right, let's see what we got going on in the live stream. And it says, Ninja Warrior Superstar says, I have never watched E.T. the entire way through. What is my life? I don't know, Ninja Warrior Superstar. Why haven't you watched E.T. all the way through? That's my question. You should do it if you get the chance, though. And the Comic Boy says, do you think it's better than Black Panther? What? Hey, Ryan, Jay Vaders and Ryan O'Toole are in the house. Thank you guys so much for showing up. And sorry, I might be a little bit too close to the mic. Now, let me say this. Ready Player One, I enjoyed the heck out of Black Panther. I think Black Panther was a phenomenal movie across the board. And I've already said that I think Black Panther is my favorite MCU movie right now, just for the message alone that it has. But even though I don't think Ready Player One is as well, I don't think it's as. There are certain elements in Black Panther that I like in Ready Player One, but as a whole, I think Ready Player One I like more. But it's by a slight hair. It's by it's like by a centimeter on a ruler. They are so close for me. I love Ready Player One, and I love Black Panther. It's just one of those things where I look at both of these two films, great messages, and they're done extremely well in their own right. So I can't really complain about either one. So really, I got to answer that. And once again, as we're moving through this live stream, I just got to thank each and every single one of you for showing up. You guys are all fantastic. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Jay, for showing up here. And Ryan says Ready Player One is number one for me. Ryan, I am right there with you. It's my favorite film of the year so far. Yeah, no, I can say, Harmon, you say Blade Runner 2049. Yes, Blade Runner 2049 is my favorite film of last year, and it is cemented as my favorite film of all time. If you guys haven't seen Ryan O'Toole's Rotten or Fresh show that he created, you really need to check it out. There's a lot of really cool stuff on there. It is a show solely based around movies and their Rotten. Jay says, hashtag evolution. Yes, hashtag that evolution. Hashtag it all the way to me, all day, all night, to see where it goes, to see the excitement, to see Rotten or Fresh being taken down. I mean, I'm kidding. Rotten or Fresh is awesome, guys, and you should check it out. Anyway, so the next thing, like I said before, the next thing we're going to talked about Ready Player One pretty extensively and talked pretty much my gushing for it. But now here's one thing you guys want to know how I operate. These live streams, this is a perfect example of why I wanted to start doing these live streams, because if there's one thing that I've noticed, not only with the family aspect, not only with catching up with you guys, but I think YouTube is an amazing support system. But one thing you guys should also know, which Ryan, Jay, anybody else who is continuously making content on a weekly basis all the time, they know this, is the fact that YouTube, although it is one of the greatest opportunities we have at our fingertips to meet new people, to have new experiences, all that great stuff. Okay. Comic Boy says you should do a collab with Almost Sideways. That's how I found you from his channel. And yeah, you know what? I want to do another collaboration with Almost Sideways. I think that's a great idea. I would love for Adam and I to do another collaboration. But what was I talking about? No, I remember. This whole YouTube system is great. Chandler's videos. Thank you so much, Chandler, for showing up, man. So, all right, for all of those who are in the chat right now, just as a reminder, what I'm going to try to start doing, as long as my work schedule or films coming out don't interfere, I want to try to do a live stream like this one every week, every Friday afternoon into evening, to catch you guys on what's going on with my channel, with the various projects I'm doing, with the videos coming up. I want to keep you guys in the loop on that. And I want to use this as kind of a support group so we can all support each other and so we can all just be awesome on this YouTube system. And I was about to get into the YouTube system right now. And the fact of the matter is, guys, YouTube, it's one of the greatest opportunities we've had. Already stated that. But the fact of the matter is, it can be pretty exhausting too. I mean, I will say, particularly this week, I will say that I do want to be transparent with these live streams. That's one of the reasons why I started it. So, what I can say is that YouTube is fantastic. YouTube is great. It's also exhausting. It's also one thing that a lot of people don't see when people watch your videos, unless you're a creator yourself, a lot of times, especially the trolls, what they don't see is they don't see the long hours. They don't see the thought process. They don't see the amount of work that an individual is putting up on their channel every time they upload a video. And I can tell for me personally, especially this week, is that working on projects for my own personal channel and getting ready for next month for when Infinity War is coming out, and this week with all the reviews I've done and everything I've got planned in the future for you guys, it has been exhausting. And I mean, right now I'm very, very sleep deprived. I've been probably only getting about 4 or 5 hours of sleep a night this entire week. But that's for you guys. That is really purely for you guys. And it might sound like I'm complaining, but I'm going to tell you I'm not. This is one of the greatest opportunities that we've had. And to tell you the truth, with Ryan and Jay and Zach Pope and Adam Dolly, this has provided the best opportunity. And I have met some of the best friends I have ever met using this platform. But I'm not going to sugarcoat it and say that sometimes it's easy, because it's really not. Like I said, this week, I mean, doing YouTube, there is some kind of an entrepreneurial thought process that goes into this, because you got to think of your ideas for your video. What's your niche going to be? Then if you want to be the kind of person who pumps videos out 3 to 4 times a week, or in the case of my channel, especially this week, videos every single day pretty much. This is, yeah, it's hard. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It is hard. It's extremely hard. And it's exhausting. I mean, there are some days where I'm like, there are days where creators, we could easily be like, we're exhausted. We want to take a break. But if you guys haven't noticed, even if I've got stuff or I've got an extremely busy day ahead of me, I try to either set up a live stream or do a video through my phone or something along those lines to get it out to you guys. Even when I'm beat tired and I know I have to get a review up for you guys, or I know I've got another project that I got to do, or I've got some stuff I've got to write up for the channel. I mean, here's the thing. It's a lot of work. And I would honestly, if I could spend my entire time on YouTube just writing, creating, reviewing, doing all that stuff, I would absolutely do it. Because here's the thing. One of the reasons, if you guys haven't noticed, with my channel, I do absolutely love pumping out the reviews for you guys. One thing I can say, though, is the kind of content I really enjoy doing is the if you guys remember the series of reviews that I did for the book It by Stephen King before the new adaptation of It came out in 2017, that creative format of not only doing reviews but providing an entertaining atmosphere, that is what I'm all about. Entertainment and education. To provide people with a book that they've never read before, or a movie that they should watch, or, maybe even something that they can just learn. That is the kind of content I like producing on this channel. And I love the reviews and everything that I've been doing on here. You guys are all the best. And I would not be going as far as I have on this channel if it wasn't for you. So thank you so much. And before we continue on with this somber talk about YouTube and how exhausting and how great of an opportunity it is, let's talk about what's going on in the chat. So Jay Vader says, "You're awesome, Cody." Thank you for that, Jay. You are the man. Okay, Ninja Warrior Superstar says, "Who else is gonna drive their family nuts talking about Avengers like a month straight?" Well, the funny thing about that, Ninja Warrior Superstar, is I don't think I can drive my family crazy, because earlier last month, I actually started getting my family into watching all the Marvel Cinematic Universe films. And my mother especially is someone who's very particular about the kinds of films she watches, and she's loved pretty much every single one of them, especially Civil War. We watched Captain America Civil War a couple of nights ago, and she absolutely loved it. She says it's one of the best movies she's ever seen. All right. And Ted Harrington says, "You might be doing too much with YouTube, school, and work." Ted Harrington, that is very true. It might be too much work. I mean, I have a part-time job working at a retail store. I'm going to school 4 days a week, and I'm pumping out content for you guys on a weekly basis. And yes, it's exhausting. Yes, it requires a lot of work. But the fact of the matter is, the way I see this thing, it's the way I was raised, I suppose, is the best things in life, the greatest opportunities provided for you are the things that are the hardest to get to. And the thing I love doing is, although school and work and YouTube, it's a lot. I mean, it absolutely is a lot. At the end of the day, it's worth it, because the way I see it, I wouldn't have made the experiences I've had with you guys. I wouldn't have talked with as many of you as I have, and I wouldn't have created all the friends that I've had on this system. It's a lot of work, but at the end of the day, the best things in life do come with the most work. And I truly believe that. And I feel like it's the greatest opportunity we have here. All right. Chandler's video says, "Tell me about it. I haven't even uploaded a video in over a month. Did still feel tired every time I come home from work." Yeah, work can be exhausting, man, but stay strong. All right. John Foley says, "I love YouTube, but it takes a lot of effort to me to just one video that I'm happy with." True, especially if you've got a perfectionist personality. I suppose I do. I like getting everything exactly where it should be, so it looks nice aesthetically when it's uploaded. And that could be either creating a graphic or depending on what I want to say during the video. Um, Whatever. It can be exhausting, but once again, best things in life come with a lot of effort. And let's see here. Ninja Warrior Superstar says, "Thanks for all you do, man, and we'll still love and watch you if you take a short break just every once in a while." Well, that's what I want to do. Well, the short break thing, I do have that mentality. And I'll get back to that in a sec. O'Toole boy 213 is in the house. Hey, Cody, how's it going? Thank you so much. We got both of the both of the Ryans. No, we got both of the O'Toole boys here, and that is fan-freaking-tastic. Thanks so much for showing up. Let's see here. Where were we? Look, taking a break on YouTube, I mean, it's a great idea. Taking a break on YouTube for anybody who's got this endeavor to do big things, especially, like I said, entrepreneurial mindset, being busy like 4 to 5 days a week, planning every video throughout the entire week, planning what you're going to do the next week, working on what you're doing this week. I mean, especially a lot of work. A break is good. And the way I like to do things during the summer, I definitely like to take breaks, and at the very beginning of the next coming year, I certainly like to take breaks. And if I start to feel like I'm burning out, it might be necessary for me to take a break. And I'm exhausted now, but I do not necessarily feel like I'm burning up. And once again, I love bringing content to you guys. All right, Ryan O'Toole says, yeah, man, totally get it. You're awesome no matter what, man. I'm always here to support your channel, and you as a person, keep up the hard work and screw the haters. Screw the haters. That should be on a t-shirt, Ryan. You should make that along with Jay Vader's t-shirt. Do it. Okay, I can relate so much, buddy. I work a full-time job. I also have to go to screenings, and then oh gosh, here we go. Lots and lots of comments. Here we go. All right. I also have to go to school, 7 videos a week. It's tiring, and some people like trolls don't appreciate it. No, they do not. Here's the thing though. If you guys have not checked out the Sweet Film Podcast, you totally should, because Zach Pope, he talks about this, is the fact that screw all the haters, screw the people who are going to get in your way and keep telling you you can't do it. Kick them to the curb and get them out of your life, because you don't need that nonsense. All right, let's see here. And Ryan O'Toole says, Cody, what are you doing? Well, Cody, what are you doing here? I tied you to a chair so you can watch Star Wars. That's actually a good point. And Cody says he broke 3. Ninja Warrior Superstars. My mom absolutely loved the MCU, but I will actually talk about nonstop towards when it comes out. Yeah, good point. All right, so I'll definitely get into more points and more parts on the chat, but I need to continue with this topic. And this is, oh boy, here we go. We're about to officially dive into the deep end, and we're about to get to the feelsy, Cody. Because here's the thing. Here's the thing I need to talk to you guys about, and it's something that I personally have struggled with pretty much my entire life. And that is the concept of anxiety and depression and thinking you're not good enough, or thinking that you're not going to be able to do the thing you set your mind to. With a platform like this, it's the reason why this is the main reason why I really wanted to start up this whole live stream series, is the fact that I love you guys to pieces. I really, really do. And when it comes down to it, if there's one thing you should know about me above everything else, it's the fact that during the course of my life, there have been certain situations that have not really gone over too well for me, and that has left me with a certain anxiety, a certain amount of depression in my life. And doing YouTube, all this stuff, it's haters, commenters, trolls, all this stuff. And if there's anybody who's listening to this live stream or watching it in the future who isn't in the chat room, then if there's one message I could say about depression or anxiety, and there might be some people who think I might be just putting up a persona or I might be faking, but the fact of the matter is, this is really something I've dealt with throughout the entirety of my life. And if there's one message I can say is, if you've got this one major thing, if you've got a mountain you've got to climb, if you want to set your life up to be a superstar, then that's fantastic. But you need to understand that depression or anxiety or feeling the blues on certain days, depending on who you are, it's going to happen. And for example, today, let's see here, about 3 hours ago, from about 7 o'clock this morning till about 3 hours ago, that kind of happened with me. And the only reason why I was able to get through that certain situation, because I was thinking about YouTube and school and work and all of this other stuff I've got to do, and all this other stuff I've got to get through this next upcoming week. And it caused an amount of stress. It caused an amount of blues. It made me really, really not want to do anything or leave the house. And what I can say to anybody out there who's listening anybody out there who needs to hear this, then I need to say that no matter what anybody else will tell you, no matter what anybody else will go into, you are you are stronger than you know. You are the strongest person. You are the strongest person you know. And that's coming from somebody with a bit of experience in this field. That's coming from somebody who has gotten into a really, really dark place in their life. No specifics, of course, because some stuff you just should not share on the internet. But you are the strongest person you know, and you can accomplish anything. And if there's one other thing you should know is that if you feel frightened, if you feel like it won't do anything, if you feel like it's useless, trust me, it's not. Go get help. Go find somebody who understands you. Go find somebody you can talk to. Maybe it's a friend, a therapist, or somebody in your life you can talk to. Find somebody you can reach out towards. Find somebody who can make you feel better about yourself. Find somebody who is there. And if you're watching this live stream and you don't feel like you've got anybody like that, then you should know that you can always come back to my channel. You can always come back every Friday and you can reach out, be part of the live stream, come back, and I will do my best to answer your questions, to talk to you, and to try to. That's one of the main reasons why I started up this channel. I wanted to create entertainment and videos that would not only entertain, educate, but I make these videos to help people feel good throughout their day. I mean, I love you guys. I love what I do on this channel, but I am also going to be the one to tell you right here and now that the fact of the matter is, no matter what your dreams are, no matter what your goals are, you are going to have those stumbling blocks. You are going to have those things in your life that stop you. And that's not a bad thing. The bad thing comes when you try not to do anything about it, when you try not to get over it, or if you don't seek help, or if you're not really doing anything. That's when the problem comes in. But I think that's enough of the depressing side, guys. But I should say thank you so much for everyone that's listening. Thank you everybody who's watching, and thank you everybody who's commenting on the side. Thank you everyone who's sharing their experiences with this. I could read all the comments, but I think we'd be here all day, and I don't think I want to do that to you guys. But thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for being in support of the channel. Thank you so much. And if you've got somebody in your life that you think you can help, if you've got somebody in your life that you need to give a hug to, if you've got somebody in your life, even if you don't think they need a hug, but you know they need a hug, give them a hug, tell them how much you care about them, and be there for them no matter what. And Ted Harrington says, thank you so much for your excellent work. Thank you, Ted Harrington, for always coming back in support of this channel. And now let's talk about the future, shall we? Let's talk about the comic boy says he's got to go. Comic boy, you're a master. Thank you so much for coming on board. Thank you so much for being part of this live stream. You rock. So as far as my channel goes, well, this next upcoming week, guys, we got an exciting week because as far as I know, the quiet one, the quiet one? No, it's not the quiet ones. A Quiet Place comes out this week. And you guys know, if you've been following this channel for any length of time, you know I am a giant horror fan. And A Quiet Place is a film I've been looking forward to for such a long time. And of course, I don't have any movie reviews I need to catch up on this week, so you will be getting 2 new movie analysis. And of course, Wednesday will be horror related because we got a new horror film coming out the following weekend. And yeah, and there's a big project coming this April. And I'm going to tell you guys, from April 9th until April 27th, which is when I will get my Avengers Infinity War review up. Besides my analysis, besides my reviews of films coming out that week, I will be doing a review of every single movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. From April 9th to April 27th, you'll be getting reviews from me every single day. And I'm so excited. I am so excited to bring that to you guys because the Marvel Cinematic Universe is something that I've been passionate about ever since I saw Iron Man in 2008. I'm so well, Ted Harrington. I don't think that Man-Thing is in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but you guys will be getting a review from me every single day starting April 9th through April 27th. That's a lot of videos to get through. It might be a lot, but it is going to be totally worth it. I'm so excited for that. And as far as my big project, okay, let's see. Jay Vader says, I'm curious to see how good of a director John Krasinski is. You know what? So am I, my friend. So am I. John Krasinski, great actor. And from what I've been hearing, I've tried to stay out of the loop as much as possible, but just from little snippets from people like Scott Mance or those who have seen it, A Quiet Place. I know a few people are saying that Unsane from Steven Soderbergh is like the Get Out of this year. I don't necessarily think that. I know a lot of people loved Unsane, but if you ask me, I think the film that is going to be more like Get Out this year is going to be John Krasinski's A Quiet Place. And the best thing is that John Krasinski and his wife, Emily Blunt, and it's a husband and wife project. They've been excited for this for such a long time, and I am pumped out of my mind for this. Guys, I can't even tell you. And as far as my big project goes this summer, just to let you know, the scripts for it are almost complete. I'm almost done. I'm just going through and I'm re-editing them so I can try to make them the best that they can be. And then I am planning to start the shooting process, start the videography and cinematography and all of this stuff. I'm planning to start shooting April 16th, and I am hoping to be finished with that by the end of April to early May so I can start editing it and I can have it up to you guys by the middle to the end of June. Guys, I am so excited for you guys to see it. I can't even tell you. But let's see what we got going on in the chat. I got an itchy ear, you guys. I'm sorry. Let's see what we got going on in the chat. Okay, let's see here. So Ted Harrington says, but it is a Marvel comic book movie. Yeah, that's true. Man-Thing is a Marvel comic book movie, but it's not part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is why I'm not reviewing it. I might review it sometime in the future, but I'm not going to review it as of right now. Samuel One World Review says, and next Wednesday I'll be seeing Blockers, which has been surprisingly been getting good reviews at a free screening. You know what, Samuel One World Reviews? That actually does surprise me, and I might be interested to see it. But from the trailers and from everything I have seen from the marketing, the movie just looks downright terrible. So I don't know. I mean, if people are coming out and saying that it's like The Girls Trip or the Girls Trip, there was another surprising film from 2016 that it's The Girls Trip or the Jumanji. I think that's a good comparison. If people are coming out and saying that it's like the Girls Trip or the Jumanji of this year, then I will more than likely go to see it. Although I didn't review Girls Trip, I actually caught it like 2 months ago. And yeah, Girls Trip, it is hilarious. It's so great. All right, let's see here. And Ninja Warrior Superstar says, we don't have a ton of money for movies, so if it's not based on a book I read, a superhero movie, a Pixar Disney movie, or a monster movie, I'm not seeing it. Well, we all do have to make our choices when it comes to movies. Me personally, though, the way I see movies is I'm somebody who likes to give any filmmaker or any film the benefit of the doubt, unless it's something that I just downright despise and don't want to see. If it's something that looks utterly trashy. Like, for instance, I did not see the Emoji Movie when it first came out. I had no interest whatsoever, and that's why I don't have a review of it up on my channel. But I'd been hearing so many things about how terrible the Emoji Movie was. So in November, not November, what am I talking about? In September, I took the time to go see it. And I was so disgusted with what I saw that I did not review it. I mean, last year, there were only 3 movies that gave me a involuntary reaction where I went to the bathroom and I threw up. Resident Evil, the final chapter, was one of them. The Snowman was the second, and the Emoji Movie was the third. Though I guess it would be Resident Evil, the Emoji Movie, and the Snowman. But it doesn't matter. Those movies are terrible. We're not talking about them anymore. All right, let's see here. Ted Harrington says, are the Ghost Rider movies part of the reviews? Nah, I'm sorry, man. Once again, the Ghost Rider movies, I think the first Ghost Rider film is okay. The second one is abysmal, but I'm not going to be reviewing them because they're not part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. All right, let's see here. I made my dad pay to see the Emoji Movie in theaters. I'll take that L now. Wait a second. Ninja Warriors. Okay, here's a side note, guys. If there's a channel I can recommend all of you go watch, it is Triggered Tro. And I think Ninja Warrior Superstars, I think unintentionally or intentionally, this might be a reference to his channel. But if you guys have not seen Triggered Tro, you really, really should go watch it, because it honestly, just on the premise that it is one of the most intelligently written and one of the funniest channels I think I've ever seen in my life. So once again, Trigger Tro. And I think, at this point, I really think that we've really traveled down the rabbit hole now, because this stream is going off the wall. But let's just keep going with it. All right, let's see here. What do we got? So Jay Vader says, just saw Isle of Dogs. It's fantastic, and I would recommend it. Better than the Emoji Movie. Well, Jay Vaders, I think you wouldn't have to go too far with that. After all, the Emoji Movie did win the biggest dumpster fire of the year in the Sweet Film Awards, so there is that. Samuel One World Review says, I finally got a job recently, and I'm making sure I save some money to at least buy a ticket. Like, I'd be seeing Ready Player One on Sunday and A Quiet Place next weekend. And sometimes I wish theaters weren't expensive. John Foley says, I've never had to throw up after watching a movie, and I've seen both Resident Evil, the final chapter, and The Snowman. Well, John Foley, was the last night. Actually, you know what? I'm going to have to think about that, because I think I may have. But I mean, that's what it comes down to. Movies, and you know what? Wide conversation. So if you've got any statements, questions about me, about videos or the project I'm doing, or whatever you want to ask, go right ahead and ask him in the chat, because I think I've pretty much said what I wanted to say in this live stream. We've got about another 15 minutes before we hit the hour mark, and I think we can hit that hour mark with as many questions as you guys can give, or as many statements as you want to make. So let's get down to it. Let's buckle down, and let's just have some fun with the last 15 minutes. And it looks like our first statement or question is from Ninja Warrior Superstars. Do you watch Ralph the Movie Maker? Funny as hell and honest. I do watch Ralph the Movie Maker, and I kind of had to hold myself back, because one thing I do respect about Ralph is that he is very brutally honest when he talks about film. When he talks about any of the Marvel films, or just any film in general, he is extremely brutally honest about what he thinks. And I do enjoy watching his channel, but many, many times I do disagree with him a lot. So there is that. I do enjoy watching his channel, though. It is extremely entertaining. All right, next up we got Jay Vaders, and Jay Vaders says, most overrated movie in your opinion? Most overrated movie. Gosh, that's I'm not gonna lie, that is a difficult question. Most overrated. Oh, you know what? I do have an answer for this. Most overrated movie for me, and this is, geez, I'm probably gonna stir up some controversy with this one. It's A Beautiful Mind with Russell Crowe. That movie, for so long, throughout the entirety of my life, my friends, my parents, everybody in my life had told me how wonderful A Beautiful Mind is, how it's like this game changing, exceptional, ultimate movie. I watched A Beautiful Mind and I was like, the performance by Russell Crowe is great. I'm not going to deny people that. But the movie itself, the movie is just okay. Like, I found the script I thought was okay. The movie I felt to be very boring in a lot of places, which is actually really funny because considering it's a movie that surrounds a genius, you would, and let me tell you right now, there is a movie like A Beautiful Mind out there, and it's a lot better quality. And I'll tell you, it's called Good Will Hunting. You want to see a better version of A Beautiful Mind, even though it is fiction, even though it's a story that did not happen. Watch Good Will Hunting. Good Will Hunting is just, it's got a great performance by Russell Crowe. Other than that, I don't really think the movie's all that special. I really don't. Let's see here. Ninja Warrior Superstar says, here's the definition of brutally honest. Yes. Ted Herring says, what movie you thought would suck but was actually pretty darn good? And that actually can tie in with Ted Harrington's thought right here. No, that is Ted Harrington. With Samuel One World Reviews. He says, have you ever played any of the Tomb Raider games? I have never played any of the Tomb Raider games, but I will say the Tomb Raider movie, after seeing Assassin's Creed, I thought that movie was going to be terrible. But the fact of the matter is, I walked out of Tomb Raider surprised as all get out. I had so much fun with that movie. Tomb Raider with Alicia Vikander, I hope it gets a sequel because I want to see her explore this character more. I want to see her I want to see her in this world more, or better yet, when they get around to making an Uncharted movie, I would love to see Alicia Vikander. I would love to see Alicia Vikander in an Uncharted movie. I will tell you that. All right, let's see here. Ninja Warrior Super, and as you can see, guys, yeah, I'm exhausted. Okay, let's see here. Ninja Warrior Superstar says funniest movie of the last year. Mine's Jumanji, and with Ragnarok and Homecoming close behind. Funniest movie for me, I honestly think The Disaster Artist and Jumanji are probably the funniest movies for me. Like, I thought Thor Ragnarok was hilarious, but not to the same level as Jumanji and The Disaster Artist, especially The Disaster Artist, because The Disaster Artist flat out is just one of my favorite movies of last year. It was my number 2. It had so much today to say, and it was kind of like it was the more realistic version of La La Land, in my opinion. I absolutely loved The Disaster Artist in ways that I can't fully express. All right, let's see here. Let's go quickly. Samuel One was also, how would you rank all the Uncharted games? Well, this is where you also draw some controversy, because my favorite game in Uncharted is Uncharted Among Thieves, which is Uncharted 2. Second is Uncharted 4 at Thief's End. 3 is Uncharted 3 Drake's Deception. And 4 is I'm sorry, guys. It's Drake's Fortune. So Uncharted 2, Uncharted 4, Uncharted 3, and the first Uncharted game. Though I'm going to be perfectly honest, if it's coming down to a storyboard and a story perspective, Uncharted 4 blows every other Uncharted game out of the water. Uncharted 4, A Thief's End, is just flat, has one of the best stories I think I've ever seen in a video game. All right, let's see here. Samuel One, Good Will Hunting is the most relatable film to me. Well, that's pretty fantastic, Samuel One World Reviews. All right, let's see here. Jay Vader says, favorite black and white movie. Yeah, that one's easy. Definitely It's a Wonderful Life. Okay, let's see here. I recommend playing the two recently rebooted Tomb Raider games. I played them for this time recently, and I freaking love them. That's great. I will do my best to try to play them. The fact of the matter is, though, when it comes to this, time. It's just time, man. I'm life is so busy and life is so hectic. I try to give myself a little bit of time at the end of the day, but it's from 4 o'clock in the morning till about 6 o'clock at night most days. Yeah. Okay, let's see here. Ninja Warrior Superstar. Have you watched Mystery Science Theater 3000? They take horrible movies and make them funny AF. Well, I will certainly say that I have never seen it. I want to go to a show because it sounds like a theater-based comedy club, and that just sounds like the greatest thing ever. Samuel One World Review says, The Disaster Artist was my favorite comedy of last year. Lego Batman is a close second. Yeah, it's good. Lego Batman was also very, very funny. John Foley says, what are 3 of your favorite movies that you grew up watching as a kid? In case you were wondering, I'm not asking for a top 3. They can be any 3 movies. Okay. Top 3 movies when I was growing up. Wizard of Oz definitely one. I watched that. I watched The Wizard of Oz probably to the point where it wasn't healthy when I was a kid. Number 2 was Jurassic Park, and number 3 was actually, you know what? I saw a lot of Spielberg films when I was younger. So definitely not Schindler's List. Definitely not Saving Private Ryan. But so I'm going to put Spielberg movies in its own category. So we have Wizard of Oz, Spielberg films, and the first Harry Potter movie. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, or Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, depending on where you are. Those are really the 3 movies that I grew up watching pretty excessively, and they're part of the reason. No. You know what? Scratch that. I am going to take it pains me to do this. I'm going to take the first Harry Potter off there because I watched the original trilogy of Star Wars is one movie for me. So the original trilogy of Star Wars. So original trilogy of Star Wars, Spielberg movies, and The Wizard of Oz. Okay, let's see here. Jay Vader, if you could time travel, would you rather travel to the past or the future? You know, traveling to the past would be a great idea, but I have a feeling I would want to travel to the future because I would honestly want to see what it's going to be like. I mean, would it be one of those situations where, you know, I get into the DeLorean with Marty McFly and Dark Brown and I fly to the future? You fly 50 years in the future and you see how things are changed. Would things be different? Would I freak out? Would I have a heart attack? Who knows? But I'd want to see what it was like, and I would want to see if we finally get those hoverboards. Okay, Ninja Warrior Superstar. That's exactly what MST3K is on. It's on Netflix. Well, I'm gonna have to check it out then, aren't I? Rich Review says, sorry for being late. You are so darn handsome. Thank you, Rich Reviews. Thank you. Honestly, man, thank you for the compliment. That does mean a lot. Okay, and a compliment's a compliment no matter who it's from. So thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, Ninja Warrior Superstar says Superman the movie or Batman 1989. Honestly, I'm tied with those two. They come into the exact same place for me, so I am not going to argue that. All right, let's see. Rich Reviews. If you could be a fly on the wall for the making of a bad film, what would it be? You know, it's funny because they talked about this at the very beginning of The Disaster Artist. I would want to see the entire production of The Room. I would want to be a fly on the room. I want to be a fly on the wall watching The Room get made. That must have been one heck of an experience. Okay, let's see here. Sorry if I have been absent from your rich reviews. No, don't. What do you do for a living? Right now, honestly, I'm in school. I don't personally have a job. Like I said, if I could do YouTube and create film-esque content for you guys continuously, I would love to do that. I would also love to have like an entire team. Like if we had the money for it, I would love for me, Zach Pope, Ryan O'Toole, Jay Vaders, Adam Dolly, everybody that we know on this YouTube space, the big major people. So let's see here. Actually, you know what? That's actually fun. If I could create a team, if myself, Mr. Zach Pope, Mr. Adam Dolly, Durbania, Ryan O'Toole, Jay Vaders, if we could create a studio, if we could rent out a building and make it specifically so we could make entertaining content that inspires people, that it just helps us all continuously challenge each other and grow as creators as a whole, I would love to do that. Love, love, love to do that. But as it stands, where I am in Maine, it's a one-man show, and I'm going to do my best to pump out these type review things that has education, entertainment, and all of it wrapped into one video or one series of videos or one series of web series videos. But there you go. I don't really have a living. I would I wish I had the money where I could if we could all just sign up and be in a group and create content with each other and make film type stuff and be able to make a living from it, that would be so great. But as it stands, that's where I am. All right. Ninja Warrior Superstars. Now I gotta go. Stay awesome. Love you. All right. Love you too, Ninja Warrior Superstars. Thank you so much for showing up. Most beautiful Sean movie in your opinion, Jay Vaders. Do you have to ask that? You and I have the same favorite movie from last year. My favorite shot in a movie is the entirety of Blade Runner 2049. And now I know that might actually seem like a stretch, but not really, because here's the thing. You literally can take any shot from Blade Runner 2049 and hang it inside of a frame. Every shot, the cinematography in Blade Runner 2049 is ridiculous because I mean, it's like I said, literally any shot from any scene, you can literally snap it and turn it into a photograph. The cinematography is that beautiful. All right, let's see here. I am less than 60 views away from 222 getting 101K views. Well, congratulations, Rich Reviews. That is fantastic. Wish I could be on your team. I do too, man. I do too. Sign me up, buddy. Yeah, Jay, do you know how happy I would be if we could actually do that? If we could actually get everybody to where we're all on a talking basis and getting this thing going, I would be so happy. All right, let's see here. Rich Review says, I truly believe that in 10 years, Dunkirk will be more remembered than The Shape of Water. I think that is probably true. I mean, I don't know. Honestly, I think Shape of Water will be more remembered because the more I think about Shape of Water, I loved it. I need to see Dunkirk a second time, but my first theater experience, I didn't really enjoy it. I need to see it again, though. I fully admit I need to see it again. Okay, my two highest viewed reviews are the lowest grossing film of 2007, the first season of Longmire. It's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool. What's the worst movie that you've ever reviewed? Oh, that's simple. The Snowman. Snowman or the Emoji Movie? The Emoji Movie, I will say, is the worst movie that's come out in the past 10 years because it's a movie that makes kids stupid. And the Snowman, I can't even defend the Snowman whatsoever. The Snowman is horrendous from top to bottom. It is the worst movie I have ever seen in my life. If you could own a studio, what would it be? Honestly, I've been giving some thought into this. With Zach Pope and the name that we come up with, the Sweet Film Awards, the Sweet Film Podcast. If myself and everybody I've mentioned, Durbania, Adam Daly, Ryan O'Toole, Zach Pope, Jay Vaders, I mean, all these people, if we could own our own studio, if we could create a studio for ourselves, work hard, and get this stuff going, I would love to call that studio either Sweet Film Productions or Sweet Film Entertainment. And I would love it to not just be us, but I would love it for it to be a system to where we give people the ability to come in, pitch their ideas to us, and we say whether we want to help them create it or not. I mean, it's one of those things where, dreaming is a great thing, but dreaming does not happen with action. And I would absolutely love for this idea to happen. So, and this is I think this is getting to a point where it's almost time for me to let you guys go because we have gone past the hour mark. But what I will say is this. To anybody who is watching, no matter what your dreams are, no matter how big, no matter how small, you can make them happen. And Zach Pope, Adam Dolly, Ryan O'Toole, Jay Vaders, to anybody and everybody who's listened to this, let's make it happen. Let's help each other. Let's help other people achieve their dreams, and let's keep making awesome content. Guys, this has been the first episode of Catching Up with Cody. And as you see, it's nothing really too formal. It's just a way for me to catch up with you guys, talk about some stuff that's going on in my life, and talk about some stuff I would love to have happen, talk about some future projects for the channel, and talk about and express how much I love you guys, and talk about how much I can't wait to see what the future holds. Thank you guys so much for all your support. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for always being there. Once again, YouTube may not be the easiest thing in the world. I may become exhausted. We may become exhausted, but we know we're always there for each other. You guys are some of the best friends that I've ever had. Thank you so much for showing up. You guys are all amazing. Thank you so much. And if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, be sure to click right there and subscribe and become part of the fray of nerds who love cinema. You guys all have a fantastic day.